The 2017 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series season will be remembered for many things. Kaz Grala's first win, Bubba Wallace's one-off win at Michigan, Austin Cindric punting Kaz Grala out of the way at Canadian Tire, Ben Rhodes' first win, Parker Kligerman snapping a 5-year winless streak, Noah Gragson's first win, the shutdown of Red Horse Racing, Chase Briscoe's first win, and much more. But no matter what, the championship battle would look very different without the playoffs, so with that being said, let's dive in. In the first 6 races, we would only have 3 full-time winners. Kaz Grala would pick up win number 1 at Daytona, with Christopher Bell winning the race at Atlanta, and defending champion Johnny Sauter would win the race at Dover. So after the first 6 races, the defending champion Johnny Sauter would seem to pick up right where he left off by leading the points with finishes of 15th, 3rd, 2nd, 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 and 1st. At Texas, Sauter would finish 8th, but his point lead would take a massive hit due to Christopher Bell winning the race, and the gap was now just 6 points. At Gateway, Sauter would finish 3rd, while Bell would finish 6th, and was now behind by 8 points. At Gateway, Sauter would finish 2nd, and Bell would finish 5th, extending the gap to 10 points. At Kentucky, Bell would dominate and win, while Sauter would finish 9th, and this would give Bell the point lead by 2 points. At Eldora, Bell would have a solid night, finishing in 9th. Meanwhile, the same could not be said for Johnny Sauter.
That thing really hung out. Oh, he drives this down to the bottom, and Ben Rhodes was there. They make contact. And around goes Johnny Sauter. Track's blocked over in turn 4.
A lot of contact. So Creed got it a little bit too sideways, couldn't quite control it. Ben Rhodes got involved in it, and then it just started collecting people.
And it didn't stop soon.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing about dirt racing is once they wreck like that and you're full steam ahead going into the corner, you just can't stop.
This would make him finish 23rd and was now 17 points behind Bell. At Pocono, Christopher Bell would win the race and Johnny Sauter would finish 5th. And at the halfway point of the season, Christopher Bell would have a 24-point advantage over defending champion Johnny Sauter. At Michigan, Bell would finish 2nd while Sauter would finish 18th and would extend the gap to 39 points. At Bristol, Sauter would finish 6th and Bell would finish 7th and would slightly shrink the gap to 38 points. At Canadian Tire, Sauter would have a solid day finishing 6th, but Christopher Bell's day would go up in smoke.
It's tough to pass, and you got to get your spot when you can. On board with Nemechek, and that's Gilliland behind him.
Oh, he missed. Somebody missed.
Somebody blew up.
Yeah, it's the 4 of Christopher Bell.
He's blowed up, boys. Sorry.
The championship playoff points leader, but if there's anybody that could afford that, it was Bell, already with 4 wins this season.
Yeah, tough break, though. Was in a great spot, great position here late in the race.
And the caution is out for Christopher Bell.
This would relegate him to a 26th place finish and the gap would shrink to 18 points. At Chicagoland, Sauter would win the race while Bell would finish 3rd and was now 14 points ahead of Sauter. At Loudon, Christopher Bell would win the race while Sauter would finish 9th, increasing the gap to 27 points. At Las Vegas, Bell would finish 2nd while Sauter would finish 10th, and with 5 races to go, the gap would be 37 points, over an entire race worth of points. This would be a battle between the youngster of Christopher Bell and the defending champion of Johnny Sauter. At Talladega, Christopher Bell would finish 2nd and Sauter would finish 12th, growing the gap to 46 points. At Martinsville, Sauter would finish 3rd and Bell would finish 8th, closing the gap to 41 points. At Texas, Johnny Sauter would win the race while Christopher Bell would finish 3rd and would close the gap to 36 points. At Phoenix, Sauter would win the race again while Bell would finish 8th, and going into the finale, all Bell had to do was finish the race in 22nd and he would be the 2017 champion. At Homestead, Sauter would start 11th and Bell in 13th. The race would go on, with both contenders running inside the top 10 all day, and Sauter would finish 3rd, and Bell would come home 2nd and claim the 2017 Truck Series Championship. So either way, Christopher Bell would claim the Truck Series Championship in 2017, but in this timeline, he would do it in much more dominant fashion. While not having to hold off a massive charge from the defending champion Johnny Sauter, he would just simply be better than him, and this would result in a championship for Christopher Bell. Well, that'll do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for 2018.